Now that the summer is over, the questions have been flowing in about the expectations around the Oklahoma Sooners for the 2023 season. And the main questions are, can this team bounce back from the 6-7 campaign it put out last year, which is the first losing season since Bob Stoops started in 1999? Well, more questions pour into the expectations of, can Oklahoma get back to the Bob Stoops and Lincoln Riley eras? But I asked one a little bit deeper than that. Can Oklahoma get back to the Bob Stoops, Brent Venables defense era? And as I look at the numbers, going through the analytics from Brent Venables' first stop through Oklahoma and into Clemson, I see light at the end of the tunnel. Let me explain why. But before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you all for pulling up to the YouTube channel. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know. What's your thoughts? Do you think that the Sooners can get back to the Brent Venables era? Are we coincidentally heading back into what he did for Oklahoma and for Clemson? Can he bring that back again? I would love to hear your thoughts. If you like this video, hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We would love for you to join this family of college football fans. We got the season coming up in less than 25 days. So it's going to be an exciting time. But from there, let's dive into the Brent Venables defense. I want to look at the analytics and the numbers that have come down the line that shows us that this team will probably bounce back in a major way compared to what he did similarly at Clemson when he left Oklahoma. Let's jump into those numbers. But first, have you all thought about measuring your wireless services? Let's talk about our latest partner here at Unfair Sports, which is Mint Mobile. Now, you may already know about Mint Mobile from those funny videos with Ryan Reynolds, who's also the owner, kind of like this one. But let me tell you about how awesome their services are. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless service for as low as $15 a month. $15. And you don't have to sacrifice coverage or speed to take advantage of their service. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network, and they keep costs down because they sell directly to you here online instead of having retail stores and salespeople. Why should you pay more for access to the same network? You can click on the link below in my description or scan the QR code that's shown on the screen. Tell them that I'm sent you. And switching to their service was super easy. All it took was leveraging the eSIM inside of my device, and I was able to sign up immediately from the comforts of my home or my studio. If you're interested in reliable coverage and fast data for a fraction of the cost, make sure you check out my code in the description below. They'll get you started, or you can scan the QR code that's been on the screen this entire time. I promise you it's safe. So first off, special shout out to my boy Jacob for putting these numbers together. He is a whiz on the analytics. And so we dove into the numbers on here. And so I've got 4 places that really gives you some really in-depth details. And granted, looking at these numbers, man, Oklahoma looks like they've got a really good chance of bringing back the old Oklahoma defense and heck, maybe lead into the Clemson defense that Brent Venables took over after leaving Oklahoma. And let me show you where these similarities are. And so the metrics that we're leveraging here are the ESPN's defensive efficiency rating, the defense SP plus, which is a Bill Connelly's SP plus specifically just for defenses, the DSRS, which is defensive simple rating system from Sports Reference, college football stats, as well as the D score, which is from Sharp Analytics, Warren Sharp's college football numbers. And so looking at the way this tied up together, when Brent Venables left Oklahoma in 2012, he left after 2011 season, you'll notice that the 2012 number for Clemson and Oklahoma were not too far off. Oklahoma had a really good defense. ESPN 33rd ranked, 28th at defensive SP plus, 28th in the DSRS, and 26th at D score. Clemson was pretty brutal. 54, 47, 54, and 40 with an average score of about 48. So it was one of the lower ranked defenses, as you can see on this chart here. That's what makes it fascinating for me, because we'll look at this year's numbers, which will go back and forth. 2022 for Oklahoma was 55, 52, 70, and 44 across the line. That should tell you something right there. that 55 defensive efficiency at ESPN and that 54 that we saw at Clemson looks very oddly similar to before. And so in this, of course, view, you see that this is going from Clemson to Oklahoma, went from 4th to 55. And of course, personnel is a big difference here. But down in 2012, Brent Venables needed to bring his guys in. And so what did they do? They got their players working, got them worked out, got them to where they wanted to be. The next season, they jumped up to 9th in ESPN's defensive efficiency, 26 in the DSRS, 19 in SP Plus, and 25 in the D score the next season. So the 2013 season for them was an average score of 16.75, which is huge in what Brent Venables wants to do on the defensive side. Now, you may be asking yourself, oh, AJ, what does all these analytics mean to me? You know what this tells me? Oklahoma has a really good chance of jumping from those low numbers that they had in the 50s all the way up in the top 10 in efficiency. They have the way to do it. They have the path. Why? Because in 2013, he did it at Clemson. Clemson was not that good in 2012 when he first got there. But when they took over his defense and he brought in some players, they shaped around their minds on what they need to do, and boom, they hit that. Remember, Clemson was not that good defensively before Brent Venables got there. He got there and changed it, changed the culture, changed everything there. And so now we're seeing something similar. Look at the numbers. 2014, the next year at Clemson, he moved up to the number 1 defensive efficiency team. So do I expect the Sooners this year to go from 55 to 1? No. But I do have an expectation and can possibly see a path where Oklahoma will go from 55 to top 10 or even 10. And the beauty of it is that if you have a 10th ranked defense efficiency team, like just overall analytics, your team is top 10, that's enough to go for hardware. And Coach Venables said it himself. If they can get to 40, top 40 defense, they could be raising up hardware. And I am sold on that because he's done it before. When he got to Oklahoma, when he took over the defensive coordinator position there, went from 10 to 3, 12, 6, 3, 8. He consistently stayed in the top 15 on defense. And that's something that he can bring back to Oklahoma. And so as you look at the analytics, you look at the numbers, ask yourself, what faith do you have in Brent Venables? Because I have high faith in him bringing his tenacity to these players and bringing Schmitty in to get the lifting and the weights that they needed from back in the early 2000s when Oklahoma was known for being super physical and really, really good at football. And the good thing is we got a lineup of quarterbacks in preparation. Knock on wood that there's no injuries, but you got something there. So holla at me. Let your boy know. What's your thoughts? Hop in the comments. Do you think Oklahoma can bring back that defense? Do you think Oklahoma can make the same progression that they made at Clemson when Brent Venables got there from year 1 to year 2? Now, do I think Oklahoma will have the exact same Clemson defense? This 2024 class will tell us when they go to the SEC, because this 2024 class is going to be one of the foundational pieces going over there. And if they land the players we're expecting, there's a good chance we can look like Clemson. But I want to know from you all. Hop in those comments. Do you think Oklahoma can have a bounce back just like Brent Venables had at Clemson his first year? If you've made it this far, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We would love to have you join us. We're talking a ton of college football, a lot of OU football, and college football in general. And I've always having a great time doing it. And so YouTube says watch one of these videos. I highly recommend it because, I curated for you all myself. And we will chop it up in the next day or two. Peace.